Hello, year two. This is Monday's guided reading lesson. And this week we are going to be diving into some poetry. So we're going to be reading a poem today and then, as normal, looking at some questions about that poem. Now, today's poem is called The Tyger, and it's by a man called William Blake, and it was written more than 200 years ago. So it's quite an old poem, and some of the language in there is a bit old-fashioned. If we have a look at the title up here where it says The Tyger, the first thing you might notice is that he spelt tiger with a Y, whereas we would normally spell it with an I, like that. And again, this is just an example of it being quite an old poem. As I said, it's over 200 years ago, so some of the spellings in the language is a little bit different. Now, this poem is written about a tiger, and it's about how he thinks that tigers are so amazing, so incredible. He can't really believe that they exist. So he's asking lots of questions about how could someone have made something as amazing as a tiger. Let's have a read. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame your fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of your eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hands dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of your heart? And when your heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace was your brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame your fearful symmetry? So that's Tiger, Tiger. So it's quite a short poem. Now we'll be talking a bit more about this in our English lesson later, but as you look at this poem, have a think about some of the facts you know about poem. Think about verses, think about lines, have a look at the start of each line, have a look at the end of each line, think about the things you notice. So as I said, this poem is full of questions because it's asking, how could someone like God make something like the tiger, something so amazing as tigers? Now, as always, we've got a few questions for you to answer and send to your teacher on guided reading. On eSchools. So the first one is a tick question, and it's asking, what do you think this poem is about? You've got three options there. It's about different animals that live in forests. Is it about an artist painting a picture of a tiger? Or is it the poet asking who has created an animal as beautiful and fearsome as a tiger? Secondly, in the first line, why do you think the tiger is described as burning bright? Have a think about what tigers look like. What do you think is burning bright about them? For number three, this poem has got some rhymes in it, so I've challenged you to match the rhyming words. Again, you can just draw lines from this side to that side when you find the word that matches. Here's a bit of the poem, so taking a couple of lines out. Did he smile his work to see? Did he who make the lamb make thee? Who do you think the poem is talking about? Who is he in the poem? What does symmetry mean? Now, this might be a word you need to look up. It might be a word that you know already. So yeah, see if you can explain what does the word symmetry mean. For number six, why is the poet asking so many questions? How does he feel about tigers? Does he really like tigers? Or does he hate tigers? How does he feel about tigers? And then you need to explain why and how do you know he feels like that? And then finally, what do you notice about the first and last verse? As with so many poems, this poem is split into chunks of writing. These are called verses. So have a look at the first verse, have a look at the last verse, see what you notice. As always, when you've finished, send your learning on eSchools, please, to your teacher. For now, I will stop and I will see you all later. Bye.